Hey, buds. Welcome to the Fantasy Buds podcast. It's your host, Brian Gold.
Mark Letrio.
And I'm Tim Stewart.
And if you want to follow us on social media, you can go to the link tree in the description below and follow us on Threads, TikTok, and Instagram. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Fantasy Buds podcast. Welcome back, Tim.
How's it going?
After a much more eventful week 2.
Yeah,
Nah.
I mean, week 1 was just so low scoring that that's what I'm just so distracted by the fucking music. Because beforehand we would just be bobbing our heads and shit, and it's like
Just sitting here bobbing our
We're
heads to
sitting there-
nothing.
everybody's just watching us bobbing our heads to fucking, like, who wants to watch that?
Who
But
wants to watch us sit here and
also with
dance
my
to
fucking
nothing?
ADHD, I got songs playing in my head.
Yeah,
So it's like-
the song's still in my head.
It's a great song though.
It is.
So yeah, we're now in a week 2, or we just finished. We're wrapping up week 2.
Still have the 2 Monday night games tonight, which
2
what
doubleheader.
the fuck is that?
One's at 7:15, the other at 8:15. I forget which one. It's Panthers, Saints, and
The
Browns, Steelers.
Browns Steelers is 8:15 tonight. So hopefully Nick Chubb will go ape shit in this game.
I need Jamal Williams to have 600 yards
Yeah, but
and 7 touchdowns.
Chubb needs to have the best fantasy outing of his career. That's the only chance I have of winning in one of my leagues.
So we got some headlines from yesterday.
Yeah, a lot
I
of
think we need
shit happened. A lot of pretty crazy stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, well, you know what's not crazy is the fact that Tony Powar's top 5.
Give it a month.
Give it a month until what?
I don't know.
Give it a
man.
month.
Give it a month and he's going to magically just disappear?
Oh, wow. He's top 5 against the Giants and the Jets.
The Jets are a great
Oh.
The
defense.
Jets are a great D.
Oh my God.
Guess who Tony Power gets to play next week? Arizona, who just blew a fucking, what were they up 28-3?
What? No.
No.
They were up
They were up 20-0 at
20
one point.
to nothing.
Yeah.
And they were up 28-7
28-7.
going at the end of the third quarter.
And then they ended up
Blew it.
losing 31-28
31-28.
to the Giants, by the way.
Well, at one point the Giants were getting outscored fucking 60-0 through 6 quarters.
Jesus.
Which, like, what
60
the
to
fuck?
nothing. Like, what? How the hell do you start a season that flat? I mean,
And then it's a shame because Saquon actually got hurt in this game also, which sucks.
what was wrong with him?
He hurt his ankle. They said x-rays were negative, but he's going to get an MRI. So I don't know how that's going to be. If Saquon is out, then Matt Breida will probably be the guy. No, oh my God, Matt Breida.
Ugh. Don't even bother.
This guy's still in the league.
Fucking, if you have nobody else, maybe invest in him, but
Okay, this just came out last night. The Giants are optimistic Barkley avoided a high ankle sprain, but he probably has a less severe sprain. A regular ankle sprain can still keep him out for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so if you have Barkley, I think that's a little bit of a Jesus Christ
a little bit.
for you.
Yeah, and Calvin Ridley came back down to earth.
He did. So I wanted to talk about the Jaguars offense. I know I said something before the show about wanting to talk about the Jags game. Is this going to be an offense where it's just kind of similar to the 49ers, where who the fuck is going off every week? Like, is it going to be Ridley this week? Is it going to be Kirk this week? Is it going to be Ingram this week? And it's Ingram's actually been really solid.
Well, actually, the whole offense was just very anemic.
Yeah, I mean, like the whole
game
offense
was-
wasn't really great. The game wasn't really too fast paced. I mean, maybe that's why Kirk, it was more of a Kirk game. I mean, they were kind of checking the ball. The big plays weren't there. It was just more move to stick, short yardage plays. More. I mean, Kirk had a great game, but I do think Ridley is the most talented receiver on the roster. I still think Ridley will end up finishing the highest out of all the pass catchers there, but He did have a rough game today, and that did hurt me in one of my leagues big time.
Yeah.
So,
And Tim, we're still not looking too good with DeAndre Hopkins.
No, we're not at all.
Like-
I mean, it happens. It is what it is.
he was banged up going into this week,
There.
to be fair to him. But, I mean, like the Titans just like another just kind of boring, anemic offense
Yeah.
right now.
They've always been that way. I mean, it's always just been Derrick Henry. And when they had A.J. Brown, he was the only one who could move the ball for them through the air.
Yeah, and Derrick Henry's been pretty, I mean, like not bad, but it's like pretty disappointing so far. I mean, 13 points week 1, 18 this week, but it's only because he scored. So, you know, did you draft Derrick Henry in round 2 to be a touchdown dependent running back? An inefficient TD dependent running back? You could have got
he
that.
is efficient, but like
Well,
this offense, man.
this year he hasn't been so far, but that's what I mean. And is it how much of it is really Henry's fault?
Are you selling Derrick Henry just for the name
I might be.
to capitalize?
I might be waiting one more week.
I mean, I don't know.
Depends on what the rest of your team looks like, in my opinion.
Yeah, but here's some names. Would you package them for? You trade Derrick Henry for James Cook and Puka. Like right now,
See,
after
like,
what has happened?
I want to say no, but then I would probably take that.
Because I feel like it's something to think about. Those are two names that are pretty much, they're new.
Yes.
And they have a very high ceiling as of right now.
I like I said, we talked about James Cook in the running backs episode that we did a couple weeks back. And I really think this guy could finish in the top 5 at some point. And if he is going to get the receptions like he got also this game, and we saw the explosive runs. I mean, the only concern is the goal line, obviously. But if he's getting those receptions, he's not going to need that. James Cook is going to smash his ADP.
He is. I think he's already smashing it right now.
I mean, he's already smashing it now. He's to run it. I mean, it's only 2 weeks, so I'm not trying to take a victory lap. But the RB8 right now, I mean, if his usage is totally elite, he got 20 touches this week. And then last week, if I can go back real quick, because I suck. Last week, I want to say he had 18 touches. So 18 touches week 1, and then 21 touches this week. So if he's going to get those touches on the Bills offense, you got that in the 6th round.
Yeah.
I think he's going to win leagues. James Cook, like I'm totally in. Like I've been in since the summer. Like I'm so in. Like I think he's going to win league. He's going to be on a million playoff teams. James Cook, like,
and that's why I'm 2-0 right now.
fuck
Gnarly.
you.
Looking for add to this guy right here. Get him a buddy. And then keep this here for next year's podcast. So we can,
Fuck you,
Look at it.
dude.
or you two, one of you two has to win it.
Hey,
And then-
hey, look, maybe if my team can get healthy, we'll think about winning.
Well, with Kyron Williams on your team now, you might have a solid chance at that.
He might have saved my year, to be honest. So, Kyron Williams, do we believe this? Do we believe in this? Because
Well, the fact that they're not going to use Cam Akers anymore.
yeah, like, is he done? Because we saw this happen with Cam Akers last year, also. So, like, is it going to be another thing where Akers is just in the doghouse for the first half of the year again, and then he comes back and dominates the backfield the second half of the season? Like, Cam Akers might be the weirdest player that I've ever
Yeah,
watched.
well, he came back from the Achilles. He was in the doghouse last year, and then he came back and he was a fucking
dominated the
lights out.
backfield.
And then now it's like, what the fuck do we make of this?
And it's like Kyren Williams was also already on the team last year as well. So, I mean, I don't know what to
He
think.
was a draft pick of theirs.
I mean, Kyren Williams, another guy, 15 touches last week, 20 this week. 4 total touchdowns in 2 games.
And this is
That's
what
not-
we're saying.
That's not going to continue, obviously, the touchdowns, but 20 touches a game, you pick that up off waivers?
What were you saying, Tim?
Oh,
No, I was gonna say, like, going back to what you said earlier with the Derrick Henry trade. I want to say yes, I would do it, but I don't know, because it's like once Cup comes back, Nakua's not going to be getting 20 targets a game,
Well,
and that's going to shift.
that is true. I also, even if he's starting, I don't expect him to get 20 targets a game.
So
I mean, who the fuck in the world gets 20 targets?
Exactly.
besides fucking Cooper Cup.
Hi. And then
Hello, girls.
The girls are
going
awake.
as for the whole James Cook, I do think he's going to be good.
Yeah.
My whole thing is, though, looking at Derrick Henry's schedule, after this upcoming week, his schedule gets a lot easier. He has to face Cleveland.
Titans
and then-
actually have the easy. I don't mean to cut you off.
No,
I
you're
want to.
good.
Titans actually had the easiest
asshole.
rushing schedule going into the season.
Yeah, and after this week, it gets so much easier. He has to face Cleveland next week, and then after that, it's Cincinnati, which will probably be a little bit difficult, and then from there on, it's the Colts, their bye, or Colts, Baltimore, their bye, and then it's just he could probably drop like 30 a game.
Jesus Christ.
So
I will say Derrick Henry's playoff schedule is a dream.
it is.
Because Derrick Henry is the Houston Texans assassin, and he gets them twice
Well,
in the playoffs.
but like, are we already going to talk about playoffs?
You're right, but if,
You got to get there first.
But if we're thinking about a trade like that, about a guy as big as Derrick Henry, I
That
probably
is
would
true.
look at that.
Plus, it's only week 2. And that's why, for me, I don't know if I would take that trade just yet.
Yeah, no.
So I said I'd probably
I'm
wait
sa-
another week.
Okay, so we're back, and we just had some technical difficulties, and yeah,
Chris is fucking canned after the episode.
Chris is pissed.
Jesus Christ.
so
I lose.
but before we left, we were talking about the Derrick Henry trade.
Yes, we were, and to wrap things up on that, I think I would probably hold Derrick Henry, but it is trades like that are something you think about
Pretty spicy.
because it's a trade of what you know versus a ceiling that you could be
Yes.
Yeah.
And the thing I'm worried about with Puka is we also briefly spoke about this before the episode. What's the
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
what's the floor with Puka? So we're seeing the ceiling right now.
Like
The dogs
right
are
now.
stealing the show right now.
Like it's like they know
Oh,
that there's cameras on. It's like they fucking know.
They're
I love them.
whores for
But
attention.
they really are. They just want. We good? I swear to God, they're like half the content for this fucking.
Fantasy
girls.
buds featuring Brian's dogs.
All right, we're just as long as they don't knock anything. Stop. Look, she's instigating. She's doing it. She's like, let's run. Let's go.
Let's go.
She's like, let's start fucking running.
They know what they're doing to a certain extent.
Like, these dogs have a mind of their own. All right, go lay down. We'll play later.
But yeah, I mean, Puka, what's the ceiling or the floor? I mean, because
I would say, well, I mean, it's hard because we haven't seen it.
yeah, and if the floor is gonna be like when Cup comes back, what Tutu Atwell is doing now, then I would do that trade for Derrick Henry.
If Puka's floor is
If
Tutu.
when Cooper Cup comes back, if Puka's floor is what Tutu is doing right now, because Tutu's actually been doing pretty damn good also, but it's been like flex points. I mean, week 1 he had the touchdown, so it kind of inflated a little bit. But this week he had 7 catches, 77 yards, which is a great game, but 14 fantasy points, which is great for a guy you probably picked up off your waivers.
yeah.
But if
Might
that's gonna
put
be
fucking
Puka's floor, then
$250.
yeah, like I mean, somebody in our league basically used all his waiver money to get Puka, but
That's ridiculous.
But it's looking like, I mean, if this is it, like this is what he is, then
then it's probably worth it.
it would be worth it. But I think his floor, I think he will come back down to earth.
I mean, like, there's just no way that this is gonna continue.
But like, who knows?
But
Maybe he
sure.
is like that,
Could be an outlier.
and it's just the volume. I wouldn't say. I would say what he's doing now, half that is his floor.
yeah,
it's gonna be his floor.
I mean, like, you can't expect
agree.
20 targets. You can't even expect that for like Jefferson.
I mean, unless
be
he's like a
honest.
Madden create a player or whatever.
Madden generated
And
player.
somebody's like fucking controlling them and just throwing the ball to them every fucking play. Then
Yeah.
I think his floor will be pretty normal because in 2018, Kiki Kuti, remember him?
Yeah, he actually had
Like the most catches or like
through his first 2 games.
of his career, which was 18, and then poof.
He's not even in the NFL anymore.
I don't think
I don't
he's on the
think.
team at all. And if
I don't
he
think
is,
he
he's
is.
yeah, I think he's not. He's gone.
Yeah.
Not like gone, but like out of the NFL.
Black.
Black. Gone.
Black
forever.
for him.
So, but
Yeah, what were you gonna say?
you know who's I just want to talk about Mike Evans and Keenan Allen and how, again, people forgot about them in the drafts and they are showing out because they're veterans. They're what?
I didn't forget him.
Oh, okay.
That's why I have him.
You were just like,
Look,
no, I don't think we forgot them. Is what I'm
yeah,
saying.
I
I'm saying
didn't-
like most people.
I didn't forget about it. I didn't really have a chance to get him anywhere. Like, I feel like in the realm where like I wanted to take him, he would always go before me. So I just kind of never really. But Godwin was going basically 2 full rounds ahead of Mike Evans also.
Yeah.
What does Mike Evans really need to prove anymore?
Seriously.
I mean, people say he doesn't have Tom Brady. Well, he only had Tom Brady for 3 seasons.
I get fucking updates from like ESPN apps or just on Twitter, and it's like, should you sell high on Mike Evans? And I'm just thinking, like, why? Why?
Like, I just.
This is a 10-year like borderline Hall of Fame career.
So I'm saying it's not like this is just a one-off.
Like
thing
he's
for
done
him.
this over and over and over again. He's been in the top 5 before. He's been in the top 10. Top 15 for a lot of his career.
If you're seeing
1,000
this-
yards.
Look, I mean, like if you see this 1 year, could be a fluke. 2 years, maybe. 8.
It's the same thing that happened last year that we did with Tyreek Hill. It's the same exact thing that
Quarterback.
happened.
Like we just focused
We
too
sat
much
there
on
and
the
we were like,
quarterback.
Baker Mayfield is absolutely terrible. There's no way he can feed everyone. And guess what's happening? Even though Baker Mayfield is in fact terrible, we forgot that Mike Evans is not.
Just like
There it is.
terrible. Last year, Devontae Adams had over 100 catches.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think Devontae Adams. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is.
Because, like, yeah, there might not be a lot of. Look, the quarterback's not going to go and throw 303 every game, but all they got to do is throw to the fucking guy, and then boom, fantasy points. Like, as if like they're just going to forget who's on the field because we think they're so fucking terrible.
It's like we sit there and we forget that like these guys are good. Like Mike Evans is good.
Yeah.
Like-
and Keenan Allen, people left him for fucking dead. Both these guys. I got Mike Evans in our league for
Mike
nothing.
Evans was
Yep.
being completely left for dead this season, and I don't really know why. I mean, I think one of us briefly said something about this during our receiver episode. Is that Evans and Godwin are like such like they're going so late and like why like these
Beep.
beep. So it happened again. We're back. Pretty sure everything's
This time
fixed.
for real, Chris is canned. After the show, we're finding a new fucking sound, guys.
At this point, if it just does it again, we should just Derrick Henry his laptop.
Yeah,
Like just run through it,
Just fucking blow it all up.
blow it up.
if you just throw it hard enough, it'll work again.
All right, so let's start to wrap this up with a couple questions I have for you guys. Are you going to try and buy low on Travis Kelce for teams that are probably 0-2 because of
Yes.
this?
Yes, 100%.
100%.
You don't think he's slowing down or the injury's going to ling all year? Ling all year.
I
Ling.
actually don't think he's the problem.
Here it comes.
Here it comes, everybody.
I think Mahomes.
I do think it's
is the
Mahomes.
issue.
I really do think it's Mahomes. I think that teams now, for how long he's been in the league, teams are finally starting to figure him out. He does not look like himself. I don't know if there's an injury that's not disclosed, like it's undisclosed. I don't know, but he does not look like himself. Even yesterday when he was making some passes, he's missing wide open passes now. When the fuck does he miss wide open passes unless they're deep?
That's true.
Like he
will
does
say,
not look like
Mahomes-
himself.
There was one play in particular that stood out to me. He just threw Kelce an absolute suicide ball.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I know one play, and Kelce had to jump up for it pretty damn high. And he
Yeah.
actually ended up getting clipped in his knees.
Yeah.
Too. And like
I know
he's
exactly what one
and
you're
like,
talking
I was
about.
really worried. I was like, fuck, like I mean, like Kelce just came back and he's already getting clipped in the knees because Mahomes
Hospital pass.
literally Mahomes airmails it. Just Cam Newton straight up airmail hospital balls.
I
it
know exactly what
over-
pass you're
and
talking
it's
about
just-
too. Like he threw it high enough and Kelce jumped high enough to where like the fucking safety shoulders hit Kelsey's knees.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. He just doesn't look like it. I don't know if maybe it's just a play calling or what. Or if he just realizes that all of his wide receivers are incompetent, so he just has to hyper target Kelce. But
the
even
cra-
then, he's not even targeting Kelce the right way. It makes no sense.
The crazy part though is that Mahomes really hasn't been himself, and he's still the quarterback 4.
Yeah, that's what's
So,
scary.
so I feel like he'll be okay.
Yeah, because it is only 2 games now. But I think even with him being off, he's still throwing 300 yards. He's still throwing a couple touches. Like I think we've seen him be more successful than not. And I think these players on the Chiefs offense, maybe, everybody invested in them very high in the draft. And I think that hinders your team a lot.
Yeah.
Like, if you, like for me, I took Travis Kelce in the first round, and I'm doing that. I'm not changing what I thought about that because it's fucking Travis Kelce still.
You can't predict an injury on
Can't predict an
Tuesday
injury.
when the season starts on Thursday.
Yeah, like that just at fucking practice. Like,
I mean,
come
like,
on.
what the fuck is that?
Like, don't practice the week, but like the week of.
Just don't practice.
Just don't practice.
Don't fucking
Just-
practice.
Yeah.
The AI was right, guys. And Allen Iverson was correct.
Yes, he was.
Do not practice, guys.
Because all these teams it's just sloppy fucking football. Like the first few games are preseason anyway.
It kind of is. I mean, you can tell certain guys are still even the Eagles offense. Like Jalen Hurts he had a really uncharacteristic interception
Yeah.
the last game,
He
and
threw like double covered. Like, what the
I've
fuck,
never
man?
seen him do anything like that. Not since his rookie season.
I just hope the coaching for this, like Brian Johnson, I hope he's
Not a fraud.
not a fraud, but he was the quarterback's coach last year.
It's true. So, and it's like, look, like we're saying, it's only week 2, but I don't want to go too off topic. I agree. I'm definitely trying to get Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the team is 0-2, if I'm 1-1 with Kelce, I'm keeping Kelce.
Because when you're 0-2
Yeah.
on the verge of 0-3, you begin to panic a little
To
bit.
be honest, I'm still probably keeping Kelce at 0-2.
I'm keeping Kelce at 0-2.
I'm probably keeping Kelce regardless because I still don't believe you're getting anybody better.
No. If
No.
you're going to get
In the
out of the
long
hole,
run.
you're going to get out of it with Travis Kelce.
Yeah,
believe me.
100%.
And you invested very highly in him. He's basically like your number 1 receiver if you have him. So I'm holding on to him, but if you see a team desperate enough, I am buying. Are you guys selling Deebo Samuel if you have him?
I'm selling him.
I would be
selling
selling him 100%.
I'm selling him and I'm buying Ayuk.
Okay,
Yep.
I was going to say next. So if you're selling him, are we going to buy Ayuk?
Yep.
I actually,
I'm going to bet on Ayuk out of that.
I saw a lot of fantasy accounts I follow said they should have sold Ayuk last week. And I don't really buy that because it's only week 1, but I don't know. Like, is this 49ers offense, like we were saying about the Jaguars earlier, is it just a coin flip with who gets to feast this week?
Yeah, I feel like the only one that's going to be remotely consistent is McCaffrey, and that's it.
It's 100%.
He's the only one.
No, I agree with that.
And I want to end the show talking about with us being wrong, I think, about Bijan Robinson so far.
I wanted to bring that up too. So Bijan, I started to come around on him a little bit towards the end of the offseason, but I still wasn't really too high on him.
Yeah.
Well, not as high as other people. I had him, I want to say, as my RB6. coming into the
I
year.
don't even remember where I had him out on my list.
I had him
Good
at
God.
10, and
I think I had him at 7.
If I made a list again, I'd probably have him 4th.
yeah, just because he looks really fucking
I
good.
mean, like really good.
Like
everything is advertised.
Like he's got it. Like he's got it.
He's just a football player.
Wow, it's almost like he was the highest ranked running back prospect in the last like 20 years.
Look, we don't have a problem admitting we don't have a problem admitting we're wrong on this show.
I had him at 10 because I just didn't think. Because
we had him low because Arthur Smith sucks.
Yeah,
That's why we had him
And
low.
he
and
was
the-
being a douchebag last week. Dude.
Yeah.
So
hold on. There was a thing I saw earlier from.
he
We should have known right from the first career touchdown, being as nasty as it was. From
Oh
Bijan
my god, that
Robinson,
was so filthy.
that it was. He was here to stay. Did you see the run by him yesterday?
dude. Literally every time he touches,
he just cut 3 guys.
cut.
It's like fucking Madden.
Yeah,
I was
literally.
going to
Like
say
on
it's like
Madden.
Madden.
Just any running back. Just cut, spin,
Yep.
break.
Yeah, it's just like you just can't tackle the fucking guy.
But this is from Underdog NFL on Twitter. Definitely should follow that. Not a sponsor, but Bijan Robinson's ranks among running backs through week 2, 6.2 yards a carry. That's 5th. 4 yards after contact per attempt. That's 6th. And 1.6 yards per route run.
Wait, 6.2 is 5th.
Yards per carry.
What the
6.2.
fuck's it? What number is
Maybe
1?
it's
Well,
among
probably some guys that only have like one
it's
carry.
4
for
carries.
Oh, this isn't
Yeah,
based
that's what
off
I'm
of
saying,
like
yeah.
minimum okay.
I'm not going to be shocked that by the end of the year he's won based off like a minimum threshold of carries.
And it says Algier has taken 5 snaps inside the opponent's 5-yard line. Robinson has just 3. So there's still that component. Algier's just not going to go away.
And Algier did have 16 attempts this week.
Shout
So-
out Underdog.
So that's still 16 attempts that aren't going Bijan's way. And look, not saying you should give Bijan 40 touches a game. You don't want to kill the guy. You just spent an 8th overall pick on him. You want him to be a centerpiece of the offense. for
I never
years
think
to
the defense
come.
could kill him if they tried.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, like, the guy is unbelievable. 19 carries this week. He had 25 touches, or I'm sorry, 23 touches this week. Last week he had 16 touches, but it's his first game in the NFL. So I mean, I can't really. But is it bold to say his role is just going to grow as the year goes on? Like,
Absolutely
I
not.
think he's just going to keep showing that Algier is going to get forced off the field. Basically,
He will be.
at some point. Like, it's just you can't keep giving Algier 16 carries a game and he gets 50 yards, and Bijan gets the same thing and he turns it into 100 yards. They're not going to keep doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And look, I had him at 10, and I didn't have him higher than that because it was just, when you haven't played in the NFL before, like, show me first.
Not
There's
only
so many
that, he's on the
questions.
Atlanta Falcons.
He's and the situation,
Like,
like I'm
that's
sure
why.
I would probably be more biased if
Well,
he
we
was
talked about
on
it. If
the
he was
Philly.
on like the Eagles or on Dallas, he was
Yeah.
arguably a top 4 pick,
Yeah,
fantasy wise.
I would have taken him with my first pick too.
100%.
But the Falcons, but talent is winning out here in this case. I mean, I have in my notes he had 104 missed tackles in last year when he was in college.
In college, yeah, and
That's
that
in 12
was
games. That's
yes, and that was first. Too, I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
It is
it
kinda-
had to
yeah,
be.
like-
it was number
By a
1 in
long
college.
shot too.
It was,
I'm
yeah.
almost positive.
Well, we know he can still make people miss in the NFL.
And
Yeah.
First career touchdown sent a dude to the hospital. So, like,
Yeah.
look, he was getting drafted as usually
Jesus Christ.
nope.
he was getting drafted around the RB3 normally, and he's the RB3 right now. So
If you got him at like anything, I would say past 8, you got a steal, I think.
Oh yeah.
From the 8th pick on, you got an absolute steal. Because
Some
there
people were
is a
just taking
world,
him.
we were talking about it, there is a world where he could finish as the RB1.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
there is now, and I totally see
And
that.
now it's being shown in front of us, and we can see it.
Yeah.
Like
He's-
in the NFL on this team.
He's got
With
it.
this
It's
coaching.
not, he is no joke.
No joke at all. And you know what else is no joke? Our outro, our new outro song.
Oh.
Have you heard it yet, Tim?
No, I don't. If it started last week, I have not.
Well, you're welcome.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm with it.
I thought you would be. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you next week. Good luck.